everyone, and welcome to Docu-Sweeties. We're two longtime friends who discuss the riveting and sometimes trashy world of reality TV and docu-series, but through our own lens, which is very depending on our own perspectives, but at the end of the day, hopefully mildly sweet because we try to be good people. Hi, guys. Guess what? Waz not here. However, it's Chris Farah talking to you, and today I get to talk about Traitors Season 3, Episode 5 and 6. This was called All the Murderous Power, and a dysfunctional family with one of my favorite family members and yours. It's Jake from Reality Gaze. Hi, Jake. Hi, Poodle.
Hey girl.
Hi. Hi, my brother.
I'm happy to be here to talk about the messiest fucking season of the Traitors yet.
I love it. It is messy it's messy because of the people they picked for the Traitors. However, it's right in the middle now, the season, and it's getting obviously very good. And it's the talk of the town. Like, I went to go get my hair done yesterday, and like in this chair, honey, in the washroom, honey. In the lobby, honey, we're talking Traitors.
The newsboys are saying, "Have you heard the last episode of the Traitors?"
Yeah. Papes, get your papes here. Let's talk about Rob. Boss and Rob. 25 cents. So just if you're on the docu-sweeties, let me just tell you, obviously we love Reality Gaze, but let me just tell you my own problem is that I did an episode 5 and my mic was just not working for me that day. So this will be, again, a combo episode, and I'm super excited. So sorry about, not getting this episode 5 to you. However, now we just get to talk about all of the drama with one of our faves. So in episode 5, most episodes now are starting in the Traitors turret, as we
turret.
Yeah, right. As we sort of pick up on the disaster of what they've done for the day, and they kind of now every time they lift up their cloaks, they just stare at each other with pure hatred and just vileness, or just like it is like the most intense play or something where they're just behind their eyes rage. It's wild.
No, it just looks like they're staring at a pool and there's a turd in it, and they're like, "Who did this? Who shat in the pool?"
But they also kind of know that the answer is the other people. So it's like they're just waiting them. Yeah, Rob says that he will never come for them unless you come for me. So as we know, Rob has taken down Bob the drag queen, and it's very hard because oh yeah, Rob, and she's like,
what? Here, if you need to know how to do her, I finally figured it out.
Okay, what is Carolyn's voice? Please tell us.
You have to. There's like a laboredness to it, and you have to think almost like she sounds like a woman who's 30 years older than she actually
is.
And everything, there's a lot of labor, but I finally figured it out. Do you think of the movie The Silence of the Lambs and think about how Buffalo Bill talks, and like when they're at the door and she's like, "Do you know this woman?" And she's like, they go, "Wait, is she a great big fat person?" You just take that up. You just take that up a couple levels and go, "Wait, is she a great big fat person?"
We are not loyal. She's just like Danielle. Like she's
everything takes a long time to see.
Yeah. I love her though. Like,
oh, she is a fucking queen because
I know.
She's so completely. The thing is, her strengths as being completely clueless, and also she seems to move 10% slower than all the rest of the people.
Yeah,
and like the reaction time, like even when she's looking at something, she's like, "What?"
Yes.
Yeah. So I think she flies on the radar because people immediately think that there's some type of developmental delay going on.
Yes.
Yeah.
And her, those eyelashes are just
and she's not dumb. Oh, you muted yourself. You've muted yourself.
I have a fun thing where I have a very, very sensitive mic cable.
Yeah.
Yeah, just get to do this all the time, and I'm gonna go to Best Buy and get a new one. Anyway, okay, so yes, so obviously no one believes anyone, and that is, makes sense. They're all traitors.
Yeah.
And we also get to know what Rob's plan is because when Bob the Drag Queen was calling the shots, it was about creating chaos. Like he just kept
Right.
saying, like, we want to create chaos, like we want to, like, Rob kind of isolates what he wants to do, which is he wants to get out people that have no sus on them, people that are
Yeah.
perceived as pure faithfuls, as, the boring ones, I guess, or
Right.
whatever. So,
Who would
um,
never be banished at a round table.
yes, who would never be banished at a round table, which I guess now I understand, I understand that. Um, Sam, so yes, they're like, well, Sam's not smart, so, we
Just an
can't kill him.
attractive piece of meat.
I mean, he also likes Brittany a lot. He is always hanging around Brittany. He loves a
The
Brittany.
irony.
Yeah, a little short blonde. He finds the
Oh,
shortest blonde and then just
the ironing.
I know. I love it. I
No,
know.
I say that on our show all the time because my autocorrect said I wrote down the
Ironing?
irony, and it's corrected to the ironing, and now it does it every time.
I hate
And
that.
so
but
now
yeah.
I just say the ironing. I just
The ironing.
the ironing.
They're like, use a steamer. But yeah, no, I don't iron.
Ironing is rough.
Like, isn't it ironing?
Isn't
you
it
think?
ironing?
Uh,
Ironic.
yeah. So basically, they're like, okay, we obviously, Sam is not smart, so whatever. Rob wants Robin gone, and because she's someone that no one suspects. And I just was like, well, if Robin's so dumb though, but okay, fine. And
She
then
really
girls
is.
want Gabby gone for the Bambies, and I'm like, absolutely not. I need that. I need Gabby there.
No.
Yeah, I know.
I need that. The thing about it is, Gabby's not an airhead. She just plays one well on
Yes.
TV.
Yes.
And I need
Yes.
that voice. I
Yes.
need that, like Jennifer Tilly-esque
Yep.
kind of. I need that. Yeah.
Please get rid of Chriselle first. Chriselle and Tom, I just get rid of
Okay.
them first. I need
I was
Brittany
gonna
though.
say, I thought she would be a much better game player, but she's brought all of her real world kind of style, personal dynamics, like she's in the real estate office and worrying about if anyone likes her. And come on, girl, play the game.
God, yeah. I mean, she gives me such pageant queen. I don't know who she
Yeah.
is. Like
Yeah.
I can't hang my. I'm like, I don't know who you are. Like.
It tells me that I believe she's a lot more managed on Selling Sunset than a lot of the other cast members. I think they have to like tell her what to do. Otherwise, she just goes, "Do you like me? Are you sure? Are we friends?"
I assume so. I guess I'll be honest. I don't watch that show, so like maybe
Chris.
I know you've talked about this before. I feel bad. I almost didn't say it. It's like how you have a friend who's like watched all of like Breaking Bad, and so like you go through a lot of your time being like, oh yeah, that episode, and then at some point you have to break their heart. It's kind of like this with you.
Yeah, I love Ozymandias. It's just a good episode of television. Yeah.
Well, I'll say it was a good episode of television. Traitors. No, I don't know. But
Totally.
listen, we both love Dylan, and Dylan is in this episode so happy in breakfast.
Baby
because he
girl.
gets to eat breakfast, and also B because he had gotten out Bob the Traitor, and he's like the littlest bro of the entire episode. He is just so excited, and he loves Boston Rob. Like one thing that's annoying for me, and
I
think
him
also
as a child. That's why.
Yeah. He's like, I grew up loving
Hero
you.
worship.
Yeah, I'm like, who is it? Jim Carrey? It's like you're Jim Carrey. I don't understand.
I also need to tell listeners there was a TikTok going around of Boston Rob in his heyday and how twinky that motherfucker was. He was gorgeous. If you haven't seen it, it's like Boston Rob with these long eyelashes the first time he was on Survivor. Him and Amber together. I remember watching it. I was like, why am I feeling something for Boston Rob? Something's going on in my pants. He was so hot. Google some images.
Okay. No, I absolutely will. I mean,
it's like vintage gay porn, 1998. Like it's like the best. We're talking like Titan Men. I'm bringing in gay porn.
It's so funny because there is a certain type of guy that like was hot and then just lets himself go, and you're like, oh my god, that underneath that could have been that, and you just didn't want to do it anymore. Like
he aged like a straight bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he aged like a straight bro. He is still one of the most likable assholes on television. He's got that going for himself.
It's interesting. Like okay, so what's interesting is there's to me three big game players in the house in the sense of people who are men. Okay, in the like archaic sense of men who are gamers, there are three. There's Wes, there's him,
Yeah.
there's Derek. I
Yeah.
only know Derek, but Wes is like a very winning person in the
Oh
competitive
yeah.
world of. But everyone, not and Derek, obviously won Big Brother, and he's a cop,
But
and he went back
Eric's
and
the
played.
best game player for
So,
sure.
okay, that's exactly it. To me, I do not understand why Dylan and the entire house is like, but then Boston
Starstruck.
Rob. But
They
why is he bigger than that? Why is he bigger than everyone else? I do not
you
understand.
know Boston Rob, even though he doesn't look like the energy, has high school quarterback energy that all
He's
the guys want to, and it's all attitude. It's all attitude. When you know what it is? He listens a lot to other people and when they're talking, and sometimes will volunteer stuff. But that's the thing about Rob. And the downfall of Boston Rob is he always has to call the shots. He always has to be the alpha. And like taking out Bob the drag queen last week was way too big of a move too early.
I
And
agree. It's dumb. It was
yeah,
very because he
yeah,
did listen, Derek and no, I'm like, everyone would have to be dumb to be like,
yep,
oh, really, Rob?
yeah,
Like to not after that move be like
yeah.
Rob's
Well,
traitor, you
what
know?
what Rob is banking on is that he can convince everyone to kind of forget about it. It's very much look over there for a while he fingers someone else as a traitor. Um,
Mm.
but he's done it before. Rob really hasn't won Survivor that much. He's just been a really good shit stirrer and a great kind of godfather in the game. He usually gets eliminated further out, but he makes the game very explosive, which is definitely why they brought him in.
Wait, I have a
So
question for you.
yeah,
Was it too obvious you think now that Alan made him a traitor? Like
100%. I understand the movement. He couldn't not be one though. But I do have to say the choice of Danielle was probably the most misguided choice because she is a disaster.
disaster. Okay, so let's get into this. So yeah, I want to talk about how horrible she's being. We have to do 2 episodes, and I mean, I want to get this out. So
And she's such a crier.
she's
Oh,
literally horrible. So Rob obviously comes in after. They're all so happy he's wearing velvet. That's his black tie, suit for the day, because he's got out,
Back with Pat.
Nikki comes in happy that she isn't dead, because of the coffin girls are still reigning. Oh, yeah. The coffin girls are still reigning supreme. Brittany thinks Gabby is gone. Caroline and Ivor come in and she's always frantic. And Bob notices Bob, the drag queen. And he's like, did you run around the block? Are you always running around the block, Caroline? Why are you always coming in chaotic? And she's like,
That's just my nervous system.
I can't walk up all those. You're just like, I love it. I like it. She's great.
I'm a flightless bird.
They all find out Robin's killed. No one gives a fuck. But then they're like, next, whatever. The competition is puzzles.
Riddles. And Sandoval's like, yeah, I read some Dan Brown books.
I cannot. He's
Oh.
so dumb. I mean, I actually kind of wish that like we would see please give us like one conversation of him and Sam.
I think there's probably a lot of I think they spent a lot of time in talking heads with him because Tom, if you keep him talking long enough, will hang himself with one stupid comment after another because he's on a camera. So he had to fill so many seasons of Vanderpump Rules with inanity, and he's really good at that. And so he's good at talking dumb stuff. He's really good at it.
I mean, you're not. I mean, I want to hear more of it. So basically, Ivar says Wes. Ivar's talking to Ivar's talking to Rob, and then comes out with the idea that like Wes had told him that the theory about Rob is that he must be a traitor,
Right.
And Ivar tells Derek and Caroline, and when of course Ivar tells Rob goes right to Wes and is like, so I hear you put my name out there, and Wes is like,
Which is a bro move.
yeah. And literally, I know, Wes is like, That's
Dude.
not
Oh,
true.
yeah.
I was just so like they just like that's
This
not true.
this
And I
is
was
a
like,
this is a dick measuring contest. And here's the thing.
what? Who's
What
big?
happens?
Yeah,
Yes,
tell me
because
how dicks
Ro-
work.
Rob is putting, as Sierra says in the next episode, Rob puts his dick on the table.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what's happening because when Rob can go to someone and say, "Hey, you've been putting my name out there," he has to know he can see right there as a lie detector test if Wes is going to lie to him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the thing is, he already knows Wes is going to lie to him because that's who Wes is. Wes is a very duplicitous player who will do anything to win.
Yeah,
Rob knows that.
Rob is. Yeah.
Yeah. And Wes is a dick too.
Mm-hmm.
He lives by his own ethical code, but he's a dick.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a I don't think he's a bad person per se, but he is going to do anything he can to win. Weirdly, I think Boston Rob might be a little more trustworthy than Wes. So anyway. Oh, you're muted again. Sorry. You're muted again. Or maybe not. Something's wrong with your audio. Maybe. I can't hear you anymore. I still can't hear you. That's weird. Now you're muted. You're still muted, I think. That's what it says on the thing. Oh, wow. No, I still can't hear you. Oh, there. Now I do. Now I can. Now it's muted again. Is your mute button still on? Now just press your mute button again. Now press your mute button. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not my
Yeah.
mute button. I'm trying to see even if my microphone is not even showing up as sure. So that's so sorry. I was just like my
That's so weird.
All right, my loves. So
I think it's your mic cable. Probably. You're probably gonna get a new one.
it is.
Yeah. All right. We're back to where? Back to where? We were just talking about Boston Rob, and I said he's less trustworthy, or Wes is less trustworthy than Boston Rob. You can take it from there.
Okay. 1 second, bring up. Okay, so then basically after that, it's known in the air that Wes is no longer part of the Cage Boys alliance with
Yes.
Rob. It's out there, and yet the truth of the matter is obviously, like they're too. It's not. Rob had made too big of a move without telling his bros something. I almost
Yes.
feel like Rob should be like, "Hey guys, I am a traitor. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that like when they open up the opportunity for the traders to bring on someone else, I can bring on you because we know that's going to happen. In fact, Danielle knows what's going to happen. Danielle thinks and is banking on that if she gets rid of another trader, that they'll make another trader out of the faithfuls, that someone will get, what's the word? Recruited, right?
Yeah. Which is such a long shot idea that maybe the other people will work well with me too. It's just it makes no sense.
You're absolutely right. Because this is what's happening. Danielle, after that, Rob has told the traders, Caroline and Danielle, that he's not to be trusted. And instead of Danielle and Caroline looking at each other and being like, holy shit, bitch, it's me and you to get out this one because we have the same priority, get out this one. Danielle in her mind goes, fuck, I got to get out Rob. So what I'm going to do, let's see, to get out Rob, I need a trader to be on my side. Okay, I need a trader to be on my side. So to get out Rob, I'm going to get out Caroline.
Get out Caroline. It makes zero. It's like going through 3 hoops when you only need to go through 1.
Yes.
The weirdest thing is how little she trusts Carolyn. Carolyn will do anything because she's been strong-armed at every single situation 2 against 1.
Yes.
And if Danielle was to play this just a little bit better, just a teensy bit better, it would be to go along for 2 more murders. And then when Rob gets banished, which he will, then be fine. It's so stupid.
Or yes, exactly. Or if you want to get out Rob, he already has heat on him because you saw him
I know.
make a big ass move. You know who has no heat on her? Caroline. So now you have to
Yep.
run your mouth to people and try and talk people into Caroline who no one thinks it's Caroline.
Yep.
Therefore, that's going to get back to her and she's not going to trust you. It's this Danielle. When this happened, I was like, Danielle, you're the dumbest fucking dumb.
Yep.
Okay. So you're dumb and I want you to know how dumb you are. So
Do you want to talk
yeah,
about
like
the mission?
my only thought process is Danielle tries to maybe talk to Caroline to see how she feels, and Caroline tells Danielle that Rob keeps coming up to Caroline and saying, "Don't worry, I got your back." And Danielle takes that to mean that Caroline and Rob have a +2 or an N2 deal, and maybe that's why she doesn't trust her. But Danielle is, I mean, paranoid up to the pack where I'm like, I mean, girl, are you? I mean, are you taking something backstairs because you are just going to the 9th degree? I feel like you should take it down a notch. I mean, but. The puzzles thing, let's talk about this.
Yeah,
we walk into a beautiful church, honey, and we're going to give Alan's Virgin Mary chic crown.
Oh.
And it looks like it's not Advent. He's not wearing purple. It looks like maybe after Easter, it's like light mint colors.
I love this outfit. I also love that the dog Lala was in a crown.
Yes.
I need more shots of the dog, personally.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I think we're gonna get it. I love that he's like always on a little bed, just like lounging.
Yes, always in like a little pallet. Yes. And so can we just talk about that there's all these little jars and they all have like these riddles. This is not like Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade style riddles. This is like Laffy Taffy.
Yes, it is.
They're not hard.
At all. At first I was like, are they going to rhyme even? Like, is it going to be like the answer's going to be like, they don't. But this is what's hard. This is what I didn't get. Obviously, all these urns, the right answer will have gold powder. The wrong answer will have black. They can't see the urn actual names until you get past the threshold because they are so small. So that part is hilarious.
Very small.
It isn't like you can sit back there and be like, oh, I see gold. I'll go right there, or the answer.
Yeah.
It's like, it is like the protein toppings on top of a salad on a menu in a dark restaurant. And it's that smaller font in a light gray and it's italicized. They cannot see it.
Can we just light restaurants? I am begging you.
Cannot.
I'm in a dark cave. And I know I sound like a fag in his 40s when I say this. But Jesus Christ, I have to use my phone light.
Yes, you do.
To see my food.
Yeah, that's how they date you. They want to slightly embarrass you, so Bob goes out there. Bob, the trainer, goes out there and makes strike number 3, honey. I mean, Bob cannot catch a break. He goes out there and pulls the wrong urn for number 1. And I'm just like, Bob, you fucked up with Dolores in the maze situation. And I guess the statues thing was also hard. I mean, just set this one out. But basically, this is what happens during this. This is the only thing that's really important. Danielle, who's fucking bananas.
Oh my God. I could not believe this.
Wins. So this is basically, they have to get an urn. Obviously, if it's right, they get to put a portrait on a wall. There's 2 spaces. At the end of all the answers, whoever's up there gets safety, which at this point is very important. A, for their own. B, for how it looks. So Danielle, who's obviously a traitor, goes up there, wins an urn, and then was like, you know what? I feel bad because we keep, in her mind, killing all the reality Bravo housewives.
I mean, not me.
Not me, but I feel bad.
I'm definitely not a traitor.
for no reason, I feel bad. Here, I'm going to put up Dolores. Not me. And everyone's like, what?
Why would you do that? And then.
Wait, I forgot to also say one thing. Derek had his name up there. Okay. Yes! Derek and Tom had already won. So they're up there. So when she decides to put up Dolores' name, she has to take someone down. Now, Tom is good for fucking nothing. Yeah. He even knows how dumb he is.
There's no reason to take some.
Danielle, as a game player, doesn't need an alliance with this person. Derek is the arguably someone you would want to have an alliance with,
Yeah.
and like want on your side. This bitch saves Tom, puts Dolores up there, and then Derek and Dolores, who I at least am happy about because I want them to be friends, sit next to each other and they're like, what is this crazy
Yeah.
ass? Why? What the
Yeah.
fuck is she
Why would
doing?
you do this twice? Just have
So Danielle gets freaked out by this and then goes back and then gets another right answer and then saves Derek. Okay, at the end, whatever, God bless. And then just this, and then
so
Dolores is
frustrating.
like, "Girl, are you scared about yourself?"
Yeah.
And then Danielle realizes how dumb
Wait!
she looks, and then she starts trying to cry, and Dolores is pissed, and she's like, "Bitch, don't fucking cry. Like, I'm not gonna and then accept it if you're gonna. What the fuck?
Right.
Like, you're making me feel weird." Meantime, Chriselle had won something, so she took down Derek's thing. Derek was so pissed. So Dolores and Chriselle get the shields, and Danielle looks banana-ramas. But then Danielle in the car is like, "I'll tell you who we have to go after, Caroline."
Carolyn, and it's just like constantly, and I'm just like, how she was. I watched her on Big Brother. She was a pretty good player. She was a really good player in certain things, but it's a very different game. You're not trying to, especially she's playing way too, she's swinging too big. And it's just, she would never do this in Big Brother play. I don't get it. It's like they all become temporarily insane when they become traitors sometimes.
There's something in the air, honey, in the castle. But obviously on the ride home, that also like the rides home from the competitions are starting to mean something. They like obviously GoPro these 4 matte black hump, G wagons or whatever.
And so they just drive them around before taking them to the Marriott. Yeah.
Yeah. And everyone has these like pockets now where they're in a safe space to kind of like float whoever theories they want in their own respective company. And so, yeah, this is where Danielle is like, "It's Caroline." And people are like, "Bitch, what?"
What? They're like, "No, we don't think she is. We're worried about her chewing her food."
Yeah, absolutely.
She's afraid to choke.
Meanwhile, the coffin theory has taken over. So the coffin theory is that
coffin theory.
Jeremy has now died. Nikki and Sierra are the 2 remaining people that were in the coffin. And so if a traitor had been in the coffin, then obviously they are still, one of them could be Nikki, one could be Sierra.
Yep.
And so now those girls are literally pointing fingers at each other, and which is of course, great for the traitors. And we have I think the first time for the season happens here of our famous traitor transitional music. Follow me down into the valley night
where the flowers bloom.
I know. I do. And then
I love a good murder ballad. It definitely
Oh,
ends with someone with a man murdering a woman, and her blood like watered the lilies.
Yep. Yeah. And the lilies turn red in the next generation. You're like,
and
oh
she's
God,
still, and then later on, his descendants play in the same fields.
Yes. And pluck the red and then to the mouth. Yeah. It's just okay.
Love it.
Ivar's like, let me tell you, I'll start off. It's Nikki, Sierra, and Rob.
I love it. I love it when he goes first because he just throws it out there.
Yeah, British dry.
If I was on the show, it would be, I don't know how they decide who's going to go first, or I would really orchestrate, let's talk about who's going to go first, because you can really change the tone with whoever goes first. And
you're right.
I don't know why there's not a focus on that. Because it depends. Everything depends on that. Maybe it's in editing as well. I don't know. But
right.
Yeah. Anyway.
Basically, at this roundtable, Rob defends himself by saying that Bob the drag queen deflected immediately, and that's how he knew that Bob the drag queen was a traitor, and he doesn't have to be a traitor to be 100% because he's so good at his confidence of his like people lying skills that he knew, and that's why. Nikki says it's not Rob, and then Sam says, if Rob is not dead by tonight, will know that it probably was Rob. Sierra says she's a faithful and tries to explain that, the coffin thing, and then throws
Fucking
Nikki under the
faithful.
bus, and then they both call each other traitors. And Nikki's like, listen, not all traitors are bubbly ass, big-eyed bitches, okay? Some of us are just fucking chill and don't really want to be on the show. Right? He's like, some of us are just
I feel like she has not enjoyed this experience
at all.
I I don't know. Even like 2 episodes ago, I don't feel like she was enjoying herself. I don't feel like she wasn't happy when she wasn't like pile driving someone. I don't know if she's not the main character. She's not really enjoying her experience on a show. I she's been salty for 2 episodes.
You're absolutely right. I love when she thinks of Dylan, because Dylan with those Efron eyelashes is just like, I'm so happy to be here. This is it. This is I. You're just like, and then
Could not
she's
have
just like,
more different player than Dylan. Yeah.
she's like, I would have been married to John Cena and be just sitting in like the lap of luxury, but now I'm just one of the Bella twins on this show. So basically, that everyone's pointing fingers, and people think that Nikki is it, and the reason why is because after this, Chriselle, who has been one of the Bambis and Nikki's friend, is like, I hate to say this, but I gotta put my 2 cents in. My 2 cents is, it's my best friend. She did it. I'll tell you. At one point, when she was in the car, and this is a Rob gameplay move, Rob told Nikki that Bob the drag queen had put her name out there.
Yeah.
And for some reason, Nikki, who had no reaction to anything the entire time, was like, what?
That's what Boston Rob does. Yeah.
And Chriselle was like, to Gabby. And then Chriselle's like, I just know you so well, and you basically don't care about anything. But that was such a weird, bad acting move for you that I was like, I can't, my hands are tied. It's you. And then Rob is like, wow, Chriselle, listen, I wasn't going to vote for Nikki, but now that she blew my mind with the truth and she wouldn't do it, why would she backstab her own friend unless she has got to do it? So everything. And then they call out Nikki, and Nikki is just like, yeah, bitches, it's like I said, it's faithful.
Then she kind of just goes that at that point when everyone starts voting for her, she's just like, yes, I'll go home and take care of my kids. It's like, we would hope you would do that anyway.
Yeah. Hopefully someone was doing that for you this whole time.
Hopefully you didn't leave your children in the care of your dog.
But if you have a built-in sister twin, that's what they're there for.
Yes.
I
wasn't sad to see her go.
No, not at all. My God, good. I there could be other ones, but yeah. But before that had happened, I forgot to say this. Bob the trainer was like, okay. This thing about Nikki and this thing about Sierra, but just devil's advocate. Wouldn't it have been a crazy, huge dick move, big dick energy move if Rob was a traitor to do this? And then Rob was like, I mean, yeah, I can't lie to you, it would be a great big dick move where anyone who would do that would probably have like the biggest, strongest dick that could fuck everyone in the entire world if he had pulled that off. But it's not me. I couldn't possibly do it. But why? You're right. What a grandiose move that only a god could pull off. You're just like, oh my God.
The problem is that Bob Harper was making comments like your gay uncle who's just trying to have a good time. So no one's really taking it seriously. He's like, yeah, he's just saying corny stuff. And after a while, when he does say something like that, Bob, they're like, I don't think people took it seriously. So that was the issue. Bob Harper always thought he thought he was always saying things with more import than they actually had. Yeah, poor thing.
There was a God complex that he thought that he had mastered time and space and all of health at that time. Yeah. I think that there was probably an idea of like, people are just lazy, they're not da-da-da-da-da-da. And I think that he's, been able to meet his maker a little bit with the fact that health is taken from us and not just something we always control.
I'd still bang Bob Harper.
Oh, for sure, he's hot as fuck. I mean, I wouldn't, but yes.
Yeah.
I Dysfunctional family, he's too brittle. I feel like I'd So the next episode, a dysfunctional family again meets in the toilet. Honey, the traitors meet, are pissed at each other, and at this point, Caroline, who's already hated Danielle, is just like, I can't say any. I despise you.
You're
Like,
trying to get me banished.
yeah. And Danielle is like, uh-huh. Yeah, no, that was me. She can't have, like she can't, she tries to deny it, but she can't. And it's such a fun, it's just again so funny how little alliances there have been made here. Like, not even tried. Like, not even for the two women on the Traitors. Just, it's wild to me that
Going
you
at each
bitches
other.
wouldn't even have tried to make an
No,
alliance.
Daniel's like, this is like a family. And she, in her screechy dinosaur voice, Carolyn goes, it is.
I love her. I love her.
No, I really do think, and this, I'm not overstating this, kind of unwittingly, she's playing the best game of anyone on this show, and no one's, I don't even think she's aware of it. But
Yeah.
this is kind of the best Traitors can be, when you get someone kind of like Phaedra kind of knew what was happening, but she was making up her own rules as she went. And that's kind of what Carolyn's trying to do. Bob the drag queen tried to get in there, caused too much chaos, and was kind of trying to run the show too hard.
Yeah.
Carolyn also wanted to run the show. And this is the ultimate group project in grade school, where you have to listen to everybody. And none of these people, these were bad choices. Bad choices for Traitors. Yeah.
I mean, or you need to have the idea that they can work together. And yeah, there was no, but it's hard to see who's going to gel. But I made one mistake. I said that of the shields from the Riddles church competition, I said that Chriselle got a shield. I lied.
No.
It was Sierra.
It was Sierra, yeah.
It was Sierra. I'm sorry about that. So basically the Traitors have to now think about who to kill. And Bob the trainer had made a move at the very end for Rob.
Yeah.
And Rob knows that would, look interesting. Ivar is seen as a faithful, and so that would be along lines their strategic thing about getting out faithfuls. In the morning, and they also can't obviously do Dolores or Sierra. So in the morning at breakfast, Dolores comes in.
Mention that Carolyn, the pen leaked all over Carolyn's hands.
Oh, that's so funny.
My
handprints are gonna call the cops. Derek's gonna know.
They're gonna know it's me. And
Derek will read my fingerprints. I know. I loved it. You're right.
Please stay, Carolyn. Don't ever go.
Don't. Alan has to step in and make sure, because
Yes.
Danielle has to, whatever. Danielle and Rob have to go in some sort of fiery emulsion, and then you have to put in Derek and Dolores. And if Derek and Dolores and Caroline were the Traitors, I cannot tell you.
I would love a Dolores. Yeah.
I cannot tell you the level of
Dolores level. Yeah.
I would be like Dylan watching the rest of the season.
She's like, my father was the chief of police. I know how to lie.
Yeah. Oh, I said this. Yeah. Derek and Dolores speak the same language, blue.
They do.
And Sierra kind of speaks blue too. Get it? Okay, so everyone's coming in. Everyone's like, who's going to be here? Now, Derek is the smartest, because Derek's like, if fucking Rob comes in, then he's a traitor. He should be dead.
Yeah.
There's no way that the Traitors are going to let Rob, with all his big dick power, wielding shit in, unless he's a goddamn traitor. He's too strong, which is true.
Which all makes sense. And it's like they all forget about the fact that he said that. And they all go, Rob, we're so happy to see you. I'm telling you, it's got, even though he's a schlubby guy, he's been on the show for a while. People know who he is. He has high school quarterback energy that all the dudes want to spend time with him. And the girls are kind of like, he reminds me of my high school quarterback crush. There's something about him. He does this in every reality show he's in.
You're right. When Chriselle went up to him and was like, hi, Rob, can I speak to you a little?
Yes.
I don't have anyone I can talk to, and you're just so good at this thing. It's like, thank you so much. I was like, Chriselle, the fuck?
How about you just grope me in the back seat of your father's Chevy?
Yeah, but he's going to do it. And he just slobber all over her. I know it. He smokes cigarettes.
Totally. He's Boston Rob. This is what he does.
Yeah. See, Derek is Boston too.
Well, Derek doesn't have even though Boston Rob's not cool, in a today's sense, he just has this way of, he's got a storied history in reality TV. And he just has this way of making people kind of feel comfortable. Derek always feels like a cop.
Yes.
Derek will always feel like a cop.
With those
And
eyes. It's also
yeah,
like Derek looks at you with like his eyes are listen, he doesn't eyes are pretty, but they're also intimidating. And then
yeah.
like his nose is intimidating. And
He
like
is a strange rat-looking individual.
but
Yeah,
I think he's hot too. Like I first like I'm not like
in his
he's
own
married
way.
or whatever. Yeah, like I'm not whatever. But like I could see myself because he's big and he's kind of like also an alpha. He feels like he would protect you, you know, like if you were on
Yeah.
his good side, I'd be
But
like, well, yeah.
his biggest success was no one knew he was a cop on his season of Big Brother.
Yeah, and he can't have that now. And
Yeah.
he also had a Dylan to do his bidding, but right
Yep.
now Rob has the Dylan.
Yep.
Cody was his Dylan.
Yep. That's
Okay.
very true.
Thank you. Thank you. And I
Mhm.
love you so much that we both can speak that language.
Yes.
Okay. So basically after breakfast, we obviously find out that Bob the trainer is dead. And everyone feels, you know, like, well,
And
that's gonna
everyone
happen.
is like, my uncle is dead.
I know. Ciara's like, fuck.
And Sierra before had said, y'all, do
but-
you ever think Danielle's a traitor with all the crying? And everyone went, hum, ho, hum.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you know, like that was weird yesterday with the whole like, okay. So basically, yeah, Tom then goes around and is like, I got it. It's fucking Dolores. And, I mean, everyone's like, oh my God, are you real? Is this a shtick? Is this real?
He's really fighting for he's really fighting to be a power player and suggest stuff. And it's weird because he has a different idea every episode. No one pays him any attention.
Yeah.
And yeah.
In
Ugh.
this way, he's almost like a Chekhov character, just roaming the streets of this castle, like, or the halls of this castle, spouting things, and people are just like, you know, like just
Yeah.
like fears. Oh, good old fears, or it's like, you know, just like I don't know, I always bring up Chekhov, like, you know, this is like,
Yeah.
okay, well, that,
He's definitely gonna shoot himself by the end.
yeah. And we're
the-
not. By the way, we will hear a gunshot, and then and everyone on stage will just be like, blink, and they'll go on with their lives.
That's very true. I liked it when Derek and Wes were talking. They're like, Tom, and Tom was talking. They're like, Tom, can we just have a moment? Let the serious people talk.
Tom's like,
Yeah,
Um,
I'm gonna go eat something.
what do you think of Danielle's like pillbox, like Natasha Bullwinkle hat?
Okay.
And it's like
He's-
it's true Beverly Hills Brown. Okay, go on.
She's going for Jackie O, but it's
Mhm.
really giving Whoopi Goldberg as Guinan on Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yes.
It's too big. It is Troop Beverly Hills. It's too oversized for her. Her head is too small.
Tiny.
And it's something about an oversized hat that is in that shape that looks stupid. It's let me say this show has a long wonderful hat history. Bonnets. We don't even mention Poverty's headbands.
I know, but
Oh my God.
there's space for it. Yeah.
Oh, hold space for Poverty's headbands.
You know what's hard? I realize when you wear something on your head, you have to not look worried or upset because, like, the thing about it is, like, what would make me happier about her if she was just like looking more regal? And Danielle has the propensity to do that, but because she has big eyes and because she's always worried, that hat now just becomes like this, like.
No, she looks like a fool in it, and it's a problem. Someone should have told her. I feel like switch that out before. Yeah.
Okay, so basically we get to, I think this dumbass competition, so I'm gonna get through it. There's a big ass traitor. They have to go to all these
This is
different
a stupid competition.
They have to go to these different places on a map, and just like they know different, they always have to go to a different little area, grab something, bring it back, right? It's one of those. And they have shields they can win, and obviously everyone now wants to win a shield, but they have to also bring back gunpowder and enough gunpowder to blow up this big ass traitor.
The issue here is, I think this is different when you have normies doing it, like in other countries. The traitors are normies; they're not reality stars, which I said was one of the things that made season 1 bad. I'm now thinking that they just had really bad, dumb normies in season 1, and I think if we could do it now with half normies, but they need to be better cast. But the problem here is the normies really want the money. A lot of the reality stars, Dolores does not need $200,000. So the stakes aren't the same for Chriselle's doing okay. She doesn't need, she makes $200,000 in a meeting with Adam DeVello. So
they should give them their own reality show on Peacock, and they should buy them 1 million Instagram. Like, what if they were like, okay, this is what you get. If you win, we'll buy you or whatever. We'll somehow give you, or we'll just promote you and or whatever. 1 million followers across all your social media networks, and you get a 6-part miniseries docu-style reality show for your own benefit on Peacock. Like that, like I feel like that you would see blood in these competitions for that.
You get your own table at the Soho House.
Yeah. You get your own table. Craig's on Tuesdays. Soho House already is like, you just like
you just like that.
The bungalows on
yeah.
You
get your own parking spot at all these places. It's all about status.
I know you're
then
right.
The 200,000, that's why they're all doing the Shields. They don't give a shit about the money.
You're right.
That's why Ellen's coming. He's like, why aren't they going for the money? And I'm like, because they're all rich.
Yeah.
With the exception of Tom Sandoval.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, Ivar's like a British royal, you know, like
he's fine.
Like I feel you cannot be seen like hungrily grasping for ducats when you're like a mountebank. I mean,
no.
Okay, so basically, all you have to know is this: Derek wants a shield because he wants to go after Rob, but he doesn't get a shield. Chriselle gets a shield. Okay, Dylan wants a shield, and the way that he gets a shield is Jake. Talk about it. My favorite thing in the whole world.
They do rock, paper, scissors because we find out that Dylan won a rock, paper, sisters competition. And I need to know, was this like, tell me this was in college and this was some kind of like frat thing or
100
something.
people. He played with 100 people. By the way, when he says he's good, how are you good at that game? Like, are you looking at the person being like, that's a fucking rock person? Oh, now they're gonna go to, like.
I was gonna say, is this some type of mental gymnastics? I think this is luck, because I have a feeling there are people who always say, always choose paper or rock or but like, I don't know. I feel like this was Dylan just smiled at people and he made them nervous and they would just I also think sometimes if you're playing it, you can know what someone's going to choose by seeing what their eyes telegraph. I don't know.
I don't know, but it was fascinating, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I need to know so much more about you, and I like have such an unfortunate that's
same. I'm
so into him,
so into him. I would so top him.
Oh, really?
So would you.
I don't know. I'm a little, I mean, I think I would just mommy pillow princess. I would just be like, lay there and be like, you do work. I don't know, you're athletic. Okay. So basically, so that's what happens. And wait, who's the third one? Who's the third? It's Chriselle. It's him.
Dylan, and I have this. Where is it?
I just wrote this down.
It is. Why don't I know this?
Is it Wes?
No,
it's not.
It is not Dolores. Maybe it is Dolores.
Tom wanted it. Oh,
no, Chriselle.
Wait, no, I said that.
Chriselle, Dylan, and Caroline.
Caroline. Yes.
Caroline.
Oh my God. I was so excited about Caroline getting it. Oh my God. I forgot. Oh my God. That was a brilliant moment also because
she's like, why shouldn't I get the shield? I reached for it.
Yeah. Tom's like, well, why don't we talk about it? It was like, well, Tom, did you fucking talk about putting your head on someone else's goddamn statue when you grabbed the statue and it was 100 feet away from the podium? So, that's what happens there, and we go down into time to have the round table. And then we got this. I wrote this down. This was the lyric in the transitional music, which was different from the other one.
It was. I noticed this too.
He was a devil walking to his fate.
Ooh, yes.
Vengeance was sweet on my tongue. Vengeance was sweet on. I was like,
yes.
What is? What is happening? What
I
is this
need
story?
I need to look up the full story. I have a feeling this is an actual song. And I need to know the whole lyric.
Yeah, I mean, I need a 7-part epic. This
Me
is an Irish
too.
Celtic, I don't know, ballad. So
Uh,
maybe we can write it. Maybe it already exists. I don't know.
I think it's probably I think it probably exists. It feels like they've had a couple of lyrics that make sense.
I know, but like I need like 17 verses. And I need
Yes,
like
it
I need
probably does have it.
generational stories. Yeah.
Her
Okay. So
mother was a woman who sold her body. A father killed himself in the forest.
yes.
Yes.
A little boy found the body, then curled up and
And died
fell
right
asleep.
there.
You're just like, what? Then what happened?
His
Yeah,
mother was a lady of high degree.
but she never was satisfied internally. You're like, what? Okay,
Father
so look.
knew the
Oh,
people of the village well, but not really, just knew their names.
she avoided all the older people who kind of smelled, and they also thought that she was stuck up.
Kind of a bitch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Listen, I don't know why this is. Well,
It
we'll
makes
write
me
this.
laugh.
I know. Listen, should we just write a Traitors musical or something like
Yes,
that?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right. Well,
So can I say this was a great example when this started? Dolores is like, I'll start. And I'm like, yes, you will. Yes, you will. I've heard my name being thrown around. Tom. Tom. And Tom's like,
they all went paper scissors before. They're like, who's gonna have to start? And then Ivar and Dolores are like,
fine.
yeah.
And
That's why Dylan never starts.
I've got to say this. Dolores does say, well, yeah, I don't know if you're a traitor, but right now I think you're a bad faithful. And I gotta say, this is such an interesting way to go about fingering people for banishment. Not even finding who the traitors are, but people who are bad faithfuls.
Absolutely.
Again, I hate the term faithfuls. I want to call them the faithful because I think someone saying faithfuls sounds stupid. I said that on our podcast.
Yeah, I think that sounds weird, but also, I'm sorry, I think that fingering someone also sounds weird.
Fingering,
And then
I say that all the time because I like to
yeah,
talk
I know
about
you do.
fingering.
Every time I'm just like, I have like it flashes back to that movie with like Reese Witherspoon getting like fingered on the like
Fear.
roller.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is in
So every time you say it, I'm like, I go back to the roller coaster.
To the song "Wild Horses" by Mark
Marky Mark.
Wahlberg. Yeah,
And I was watching that with my dad in the movie theater when it happened, and I was so upset. Okay. Anyway,
that moment is so seminal, pun intended, for a lot of women. I find that moment of him fingering her on the roller coaster.
Yeah, I think it's because I was young and it felt like I sensorily felt her rush.
Yeah, and titillation, but also, should we be doing this? And does this feel good to me? Or should you be doing this? Doesn't he turn out to be a monster?
Yes, he's dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's why.
Why does it feel kind of hot? I don't know.
I know, I'm mad about it, and I wish it wasn't, but here we are.
Anyway.
Dolores goes for Tom goes for Dolores, and Derek's like, all right, well,
wait. I need to do some serious big people stuff here.
Yeah, they're just like, can you all right, can you're good, Tom, Dolores, you're good, just we're gonna go after faithfuls. Okay, well, let's let the adults speak now.
Right.
I have been watching, and I think that we have to go for Derek, for Rob, right? He goes for Rob. And he had tried to go around and be like, hey, remember Ivar, how you had pointed fingers last time? Well, if I bring up that name, will you do it again? And Ivar's like, remember when I pointed fingers last time?
Wait.
Who was it I pointed? Do I point? Like, you were just... And Derek's like, yeah, dude, remember. I'll bring it up, and if it brings a bell... Yeah. Maybe just have my back.
It's like you're asking me if I was a German sympathizer. I just forgot.
I've never been to Epstein Island. Epstein had, you're just like, what? I don't know. Anyway, so Derek does that. Wes is obviously on Derek's side.
Yeah.
Rob goes after Wes,
This
and
this was kind
Wes,
of a genius move. Yeah.
you realize has and it's like it's interesting to me how bad Wes defends himself
Yep.
and does not understand how he comes across. And you realize
He was challenging it. He was
he
going
was the
he's thinking like
emotional
he's in the
intelligence of
challengers.
what you have to do to be able to hear in real time how you sound. But unfortunately, Wes is like so frustrated that people aren't all on
Yep.
him and Derek's side to get out Rob that he's like, well, he basically threatens people that if you don't vote for him,
Yep.
vote on his
My
way, that
eyes
he's
gonna
going
be
to
on
come
you.
after you.
He
And
thought he was on MTV. Thought he
and
was gonna be
Gabby is
someone.
like,
Yeah.
excuse me, what the fuck are you
Yep.
talking about?
And Chriselle hears it because I don't know if y'all men listening, there are maybe 20 of you. It's like our audience.
Mhm.
We're happy to have you, to be
Love you.
honest.
Thank you so much for being here.
Um,
Also, thank you.
women don't like to be told, I'm gonna hunt you down.
Yeah, weird, huh?
And they get a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless you're Marky Mark Wahlberg on a on a I guess roller coaster in the
roller
90s, and we're
coaster.
like, please.
And then
okay,
we're
but
into
like, no.
that.
But no, yeah, you're right. The girls are like, I'm sorry, we just told you that you are a little too much,
Yeah.
and you try and like bully people, and now you're going to bully us in this moment to not vote for you. Fuck you. And the truth is, it was a bad moment. He realizes it, and then it all goes to shit. The votes come, they're mildly split, and Danielle goes for Rob. Caroline goes for Danielle.
This was so Daniel could not read the room. This is she if there was someone else you need to jump on board. This is so stupid.
She could have gotten, I mean, I actually just, whatever.
This was the stupidest thing she's done yet. And I will say Carolyn also did something stupid here where she kind of went for Danielle in a way and defended Wes, which is just the dumbest thing possible.
Yeah, that was. If she had voted for Rob, Rob could have been out. Well,
Yep.
they would have gone a tie. They would have gone to the tie, and I don't know exactly what is a tie just a revote?
Yeah, it's a revote excluding all the other votes that were burned. But I think if they were I don't think Carolyn was ever going to vote Rob out in this. I think she was going to take what she could because she's at least a better traitor than Danielle is. But the interesting thing here is what Brittany says to Dylan and says, Dylan, don't vote for Rob because I think Brittany is smarter than she appears.
Mm-hmm.
And Brittany knows to play this farther because Brittany knows that Rob's a traitor. And
that's why it's weird. It's like she knows that Derek is strong, though. For her to go against Derek and keep Rob in when she knows Rob's a traitor.
I agree. The only thing I can think of is she's trying to keep herself safe because Rob doesn't think she's dangerous.
I get what you're saying. I feel like Rob has had to have had secret conversations with people.
I agree with you.
Where he's like, look, let's just say I was a traitor. But I'm not going to say that. But let's just say I was.
I'm going to keep you in as long as possible, and then we can talk about it. And then and then I'll make you a traitor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because wouldn't you rather be a traitor than a faithful? And everyone's going to say yes. Like I would, like if Rob said that to me and I was Brittany and I'm looking at all these goddamn done faithfuls and I'm like, well, play both sides. You're right.
Yeah.
I know but then to me as an audience, I feel like that's an interesting scene I want to see. Like, I feel like that would be,
my conspiracy brain is churning because that move from Brittany was Brittany was never the greatest player in Big Brother. She went a lot with the house, but she understands people. But at the end, when Brittany goes to Derek, I want to yell at you now. You're a dirty scumbag liar. I asked you up in the charge of Rob, and you said no. And he's like, want to know why? You and Rob have been hanging out a lot, and maybe you're a traitor. Y'all, this is the thing. I will be shocked if Derek survives.
I know.
I even though murdering him would be obvious, that would
He
be
has no
to
choice.
put it on Rob again. I think he has no choice. And now Derek is telling Dylan that Rob's a traitor, and for sure that Brittany is too. And anyway, then we do end with the traitors going to their turret, and who knows what the fuck's gonna happen.
I can't wait to see Caroline just. I can't. Danielle
What
and Caroline are gonna
happened?
scratch each other's fucking faces. I mean, it's gonna be. I can't wait. All right, my loves, we have come to the end of this double combo episode with two
Ooh.
combo people doing
Double
it here.
penetration.
Yeah, DP on the front of the episodes and on the podcast. It has been such a delight having my friend and yours,
Thank you
Jake
for having
Poodle
me.
from Reality Gaze.
I love talking
which
about traitors.
me
This
too.
show is so great. This season is so dumb and misguided, and I love it. I love it.
I forgot, did I ask you this already? Did you play Mafia as a
Yes,
game?
I did.
Okay,
Yeah, as
we
a
should
kid.
play that. We should have a Mafia game. We should invite all our
Ooh,
friends and do a Mafia game. And
I would love that.
I know, isn't that fun?
Can
Also,
we wear hats?
yeah, but you're gonna wear that. If you wear the pillbox hat, I'll wear my headbands, all of them, at one time. Be like a totem pole of headbands. Yeah, that's not, and we'll like make like weird themed food, like Mafia, like
Yes,
Italian or something
I
like that,
love
and
this
we'll drink
idea.
wine.
I love this idea.
Listen, you guys, first of all, if you're in the LA area and you've enjoyed this, let me tell you, we are doing a show at the
We
Lyric
are.
Hyperion. It is on February 21st, which is a Friday at 9:30 p.m. And there are tickets on Eventbrite. The show is called Fancy's Hookin' for Love.
Hooking for love.
And it's a delightfully super dumb, campy, stupid,
Yeah.
fun show.
Based on your
Where
character that you came up with a couple years ago.
Mhm.
Just about 10, 20.
If you like the song Fancy by Bobby Gentry,
Yeah.
made famous by Reba McEntire, it's like a bio drag queen character I do.
Yes.
And Jake has been lovingly performing this show with me in different
Yes.
variations for over years. And this is
Over
a brand new show with brand new
45
jokes
years.
and updated. Yes. And we have fun, dumb songs and the craziest dumb melodies and mayhem, whatever melody madcap things we're doing together. So that is on the internet for you to buy tickets. It's only $15 and
Oh,
$17
what a
at the 20th door.
steal.
No, it's gonna be great. And we're gonna be hanging out afterwards. So Lyric Hyperion, it's February 21st at 9:30, and tickets are Eventbrite. Look up Fancy's Hookin' for Love,
Hooking for
everyone.
love.
Or you can go to Fancy the Show on Instagram to find out more. Listen, let's go through all our social medias because this is the end of the
Go
episode.
for it.
Go ahead and no, you do Reality Gaze. Thank you so much for being here. Go ahead.
Of course. You can find us at all things Reality Gaze at Reality Gaze Pod. I don't think it's Reality Gaze Podcast on Instagram. I always forget. We had to switch around so much. You can find me at Jake It or Fake It on all the socials. We're on Blue Sky. We're at Reality Gaze at Blue Sky. And TikTok. They're on TikTok still. Reality Gaze Pod, I believe. Because we're not banned anymore, but who knows? It's still gonna we're still gonna circle the drain. That's just all of us. Yep.
That's where I like to be, honey.
Yep.
Just, you know,
Circling the drain.
State of motion. All right. And obviously you can listen to Reality Gaze wherever you listen to
get your
podcasts.
podcasts.
Yeah, we're reality girls and Reality Gaze. Also, we are Docu Sweeties. You can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts and follow our social medias. We are at Docu Sweeties on Instagram. We are at Docu Sweeties on TikTok. We have a Facebook group, the Docu Sweeties Podcast Facebook group. We have a YouTube. Please go subscribe there. You can also listen to our podcast there if you are into that, if that suits you, if you're in that Google YouTube world already. And we have a Patreon. So do you. Our Patreon is patreon.com/DocuSweeties. And your Patreon is probably
patreon.com/Reality Gaze.
Yeah, makes sense. Good for us and our branding. All right, my loves. Thank you so much for being on this journey with us. And we'll talk to you later. Have a great rest of your week.
Bye.
Bye.